It all starts with this guy who just arrived from the big city of Tokyo, where you can go for female affection with a bunch of goths, but now he's moved to a little dumpy town. Clean air, everything's lonely, and man, it's freezing. I'm stiffer than my goose in the morning. Well, it's too late to cry now, so he has to keep walking with 30 kilo of clothes for the cold on him until he runs into a local girl. What? A beautiful girl in a dumpy little town like this? God, I'm already dead. What the hell? As this guy is drooling over her, the girl asks him, "What the hell do you want, you creep?" Damn, I'm new and they're already gonna roast me. Nothing, I just want to know where this town is. Ah, it's over there. Oh, thanks, there are some glasses. Whew, I almost got late for my future kids. Wait, bro, are you really going to walk 3 hours? Is it really that far? Yeah, bro, and here a taxi comes by like every half hour. It's all over. Here the guy gives in to his cruel fate and gets ready to leave, until the girl stops him, inviting him to wait for the bus with her since it will only take 5 minutes to arrive. Hell yeah! Anything to avoid walking. It's at this moment that a virgin shows off his best social skills, so he thanks her for the help, and she questions him about where the hell he's from, to which he replies that he's from Tokyo. The girl is really surprised, you know? A local girl who thinks the city is lame and all that. But unlike her, this guy was a total bore who got picked on. So for him, the town isn't that bad since he's not popular at all. But the waifu, feeling down, thought he would be super bored in that place. You're wrong, girl. Then the girl asks him where he studies and how old he is. And it turns out they're both 16 and go to the same high school. Oh yeah, what a coincidence. The girl trusts him, jokes about being the town's sweetheart. He imagines all town girls. Oh, too much female affection. Do you want the town's sweetheart or what? From that moment on, the guy was daydreaming, thinking that all the girls in the town are this friendly, which excited him. But the girl brought him back down to earth to show him her snot since it was cold. When she handed him a tissue, she realized he was quite the gentleman. However, while he was distracted, she took the opportunity to sneak some ice down the back of his shirt, which made her burst out laughing. This image of her really impacts our protagonist, so much that he blurts out that she's very pretty, a line that almost earns him an Oscar since it caught her off guard, but she ended up feeling really embarrassed. Oh man. And supposedly you're not popular. What a smooth talker. The bus arrived, but he asked her name, Minami Fuyuki, future boss. Or maybe not, since the guy grabbed his chicken product and asked for her name. This girl's name is Minami Fuyuki, the future owner of your paychecks, bro. This leaves the guy so stunned that he forgot to get on the bus. This is what you get for being a nice guy? Even his dad is already putting a Taz in the town of Morse. I'm almost ready to make grandkids. Then the guy arrives in his class and introduces himself as Tsubasa Shiki, so he sits in the back hoping to see his beloved again. Nah, it's all good, bro. You've always liked the serious dark-haired girls. Damn, that's good. To his machine. What a coincidence? Wow, I never would have imagined that. It seems the girl is in his classroom, and she even sits next to him, so she starts calling him by his name. That's way too much female attention for a virgin. So this is just the beginning. Later, the guy is freezing his butt off, so Minami lends him a blanket, which he appreciates since it's nice and warm, but the dirty guy imagines another kind of service. Cut it out, bro. It's family time here. Those sinful thoughts in your mind, in your body. At the end of the class, the guy returns it to her, and she smells it. This really embarrasses the guy, especially when she tells him that their scents mixed. I'm going to come. When they leave, these two go together, since the girl wants him to accompany her to the choo-choo station, that is, the train station. She asks if he has a girlfriend, questioning him. When he says no, she asks where people in Tokyo have fun. He tells her based on online info since he's never been out with a girl. She says there's not much to do, so it's better to hang out at each other's houses, making Tsubasa nervous about visiting her soon, and she invites him to her house tomorrow when they say goodbye. So the girl admits that there's not much to do there, especially since people usually don't go out in winter, so it's better for them to hang out at each other's houses, which makes Tsubasa nervous because he could end up going to her house very soon. And indeed, it became canon because when they said goodbye, she invited him to come to her house tomorrow. I have the house to myself, bro. Hell yeah, I'm finally going to get some. Don't tell me you don't want to, bro. He was heated by her impressive temptation. I mean, see you later, girl. The guy was left more heated than the blanket caused, since the temptation that girl gives him is impressive. When they arrive, the girl tells him to come in. Seeing her, he says, "Wasn't that bait?" Jackpot. He gets nervous, but they can hang out with the heater. I have the house to myself, jackpot, jackpot. This makes the guy really nervous, but apparently the offer is that they can hang out in the living room and use the awesome heater. Oh, what a joke. But after offering him something to drink, the gal stains his plot, so he craves for free. But the best part comes when he goes and changes his clothes, since he put on pajamas. No way, I'm going to explode. He suggests a movie neither has seen, but it's cheesy. She makes noises and touches him, but she's asleep, unaware of him. He feels down, thinking she doesn't see him as a man. He wakes up, says he's leaving, and takes his jacket. It gets awkward when the girl falls asleep. When he wakes up, he tells her he's leaving and takes his jacket back. The girl catches up to him to apologize. Tsubasa gives her his scarf. She thanks him. This makes the kid upset, since he thinks that she doesn't consider him a man. So when he wakes up, he tells her that he's leaving, but not before taking off her jacket, since she used it as a blanket. The girl comes to her senses, and when the boy is already on his way back, she quickly catches up to him as she wants to apologize for being spoiled. But Tsubasa puts her scarf on her since she went out too uncovered with the cold. She admits to doing it often, but blushing, thanks him for the detail. The guy is almost getting sick, but before leaving, Minami decides to invite him to the store since she wants to make it up to him for drooling over her. So we see how their first interaction ends, with a girl pulling the shy guy along, and then they go out to grab some rice, but not before she wipes a grain of rice off his cheek. Oh baby. Wow, this snowman turned out awesome. I'm going to take a selfie to show it off, and make it go viral. I focus my tea. It all starts with the girl whispering in the guy's ear. 1500 is about half at most. You bring the place. He was totally zoned out, staring at a sign that seems to be about the upcoming winter festival. So, seeing that he was more anxious than a guy who bought September without fapping, she decided to invite herself to go with him. Don't tell me I'm going to have a date today, we're eating. Then we see the waifu at home with her family, where the main topic of conversation is the plan to go to the festival together. But the girl lets them know that she'll be going with a friend. No, my buddy, yeah, depression is, definitely moderate to severe. But in the end, his mom is happy because he hasn't gone out with anyone since elementary school. Then we see our bro out in the cold with his dog, overthinking whether it's a date or not, since the girl texted him to meet at 11 and even sent a pic to tease him. What a tease! Once they arrive at the meeting spot, the girl shows off her casual outfit to traumatize the innocent boys. Send me to therapy, girl. So they're chatting about the festival, and it seems Tsubasa has high expectations for what's going to be there. But a downcast Minami tells him not to expect too much. That's how they enter the winter festival, where we see ice sculptures and some food stalls that are a bit sketchy. I told you it wasn't that great, bro. Make it a super god machine. Nothing Z. From here, they head to see the giant snowmen that the guy likes so much that he wants to take a picture of them. But the girl has a better idea, to take a selfie together. All that female affection makes the guy look like a desperate perv, especially since the scent is really nice, causing the girl to laugh at his expression. And speaking of nice scents... My stomach just growled, bro. Well, of course you are incredibly hungry. The girl decides to eat a teriyaki sandwich, just like your crush fits in with her ex, while Tsubasa goes for a caramel hot dog. When Legal sees it, she asks for a bite, so she opens her mouth, and seeing how much she could open it, I knew she would be the mother of my future kids because I like girls who can eat a lot. What did you think, little pig? After taking a big bite, the guy gets nervous about the whole indirect kiss situation. Chill, bro, you're already hairy, so no fear. The girl smiles at him, saying he's very predictable, and tells him not to ask her to stop being a woman. After giving him his big bite, the kid gets nervous because of the indirect kiss. Relax, bro, you're already hairy. So no fear. The girl smiles at him, telling him that he is very predictable. Don't ask me to stop being a man. Later, they sit down to have something warm to drink, and Minami keeps saying she doesn't believe he had fun, but Tsubasa explains that he only lived in Tokyo, so for him, it's a new experience. Even though it's the same Japan, it feels very different to him. He takes the opportunity to thank her for keeping him company, which embarrasses the girl. But then she also gathers the courage to thank him because he reminded her how beautiful her city is, saying she really enjoyed it. That's that damn smile. But the guy, as if he weren't 3 meters away, catches her in his arms. Wow, that's intense. They feel shy about this since they almost kiss. No way, not again. Then we see these two heading back, and the guy, with nothing but chicken products, dares to ask her to go somewhere else, just the two of them. Then the girl gets happy and teases him because he wants to have her all to himself. Just kidding, but if she wants, it's not a joke. Later on, the girl shows up at school with some news, and we're going to set it up, right? An instant soup. Hokkaido. So he goes ahead and prepares the guy as if it were really hard to just add hot water, and when it's ready, he makes it into a little airplane. Eat it all, dude. He admits that the soup is really good, but not as good as you, my lady. Is it? He asks her what she brought for lunch, and the guy tells her it's just something simple for his lunchbox. Yeah, it's super good. The girl tries a bit of his fancy meat, and wow, it's so delicious that it made her feel spoiled. My grandma made it for me. I'm marrying her. Then the guy thanks her for letting him try his first soup, to which the girl is surprised because she explains that this is his first experience. The guy tells her, yes, it's his first instant soup, his first time going to a festival with a friend, and his first time having female affection. Well, that last one was super obvious. The scared girl asks him, Are you the old lady scarecrow 3000? I mean, a spoiled, resentful kid who refuses to grow up. But the girl doubts it, so she tells him that she'll visit him at his house today, which makes the guy nervous because remembering his big reasons for her visit makes him blush like a tomato. Wait, will my grandma be there? Damn it! On the way to his house, the girl spots a little snow cave and puts on her best face. She can't resist and decides to pull him in with her. Things get tense there since the place is really cramped and the position they're in doesn't help at all. But then comes the worst part because when they come out, his grandma catches him. Oh, are you the little pig who was in there making noises? Light up, Grandpa! And when they come out, the girl sticks close to him, saying that for your first time, it was pretty awesome. The girl, upon finding out that it's his grandma, gets really happy because she loves her cooking, so she lets her know. But then the grandma asks her grandson, who the heck is she? To which he replies that she's just his classmate. Oh, that's what you get for calling me my friend, girl. The grandma tells him that's cool, but she forces him to leave with her, so all of his plans are ruined since his grandma is really strict. But the girl doesn't give up and comes back to tell him not to use umbrellas because they might slip, and she even shows them a safer path to get there. On the way back, the guy thanks her, but the girl still feels hurt about just being his classmate. So, he whispers in her ear that she's a very important friend to him, which makes her really happy. When they arrive at his house, it confirms what he said. The guy is a millionaire since he has almost a mansion. But the girl, feeling embarrassed, starts to leave because she wasn't invited. Or maybe she was, since the grandma invites her for tea, telling herself that she's softened over time. But if her grandson chose this girl, she must be charming. Look at all that money. I'm gonna post pictures of your luxuries, bro. It seems like I should call you out on it. At that moment, his grandma realizes that her granddaughter is happy, reminding her of that sweet smile from when she was just a child, when she promised to be someone important to take care of her. Forever. So for now, I'll have to trust that smile. Sometime later, back in class, they have to look at the places they played, and next to the guy is a beautiful dark-haired girl, just like he likes. Oh, here come the jealousy. Everything continues with a little trip to ski in the snow. What's up, my dude? You're gonna get all stiff because you're making me crave something in this cold, silly. Although yes, here the girl gal is also trying to socialize with the other girl gal, but she's ignoring her. Shut up, you daughter of a... Apparently, this girl is named Sayuri, and according to the blonde, she's tried to become her friend but hasn't had any luck. Just look at her, bro. Dark hair, purple highlights, and an amazing style. Ah, the doctor really prescribed it well for me? Oh, so she lifts your spirits more. Huh. It also looks like it's going to Aguascalientes with you, girl. Now I hope your old lady wants it. Then we see that the guy is sent by his teacher to ski as practice, but he won't be alone since he has to do it with Sayuri Aquino, which gives Tsubasa a perfect opportunity to get closer to her, and according to him, it will help the blonde girl become his friend. Sure, but the girl puts on headphones because she likes to romanticize her solitude, especially if the depression is moderately severe, of course, so Tsubasa is left talking like a fool. Come on, dude, remember what the teacher told you? Practice together because you guys are a good match. Tsubasa tries to imitate Aquino's movements but falls. A blonde girl brags about her skiing skills. Aquino asks Tsubasa if he's dating Fuyumi since they sat close on the bus. He describes her as the typical, popular, social, perfect girl. Check it out, bro. I'm the best. Everything bounces off me. I mean, I was the best. This is where Aquino asks Tsubasa if he's dating Fuyumi since they were sitting pretty close on the bus, to which the guy denies it, saying he was just messing around. He doesn't go into more details, saying that girl is the typical, popular, social, and perfect girl. She's definitely more open than a compass. How his daughter pisses me off. That just confirms she has everything that she doesn't. Seriously, they're just the same girl. But well, sometime later we see that the blonde gal couldn't be more goth and less Z, since she offers to accompany a child so he doesn't have to walk alone. Quite a crack. On the other hand, the teacher apologizes to the inexperienced misfits as he completely forgot about them, so much so that the others were already having lunch. Honestly, 3 hectares of yusen were worth it for me. So now they have to have lunch alone. But since the guy doesn't want to bother the grumpy one, he gets off the bus but forgets his chopsticks. He goes back to the bus and sees the girl showing off her food. He apologizes 1,000 times and decides to run away. But the embarrassed girl stops him because she wants him to stay. Oh my boy, today you become a man. Or maybe not, since she invites him to eat but in silence as he hasn't said a word the whole time to the hungry girl. After they finish eating, she shares her secret with him, that she's always been behind in sports because she sweats way too much, so she's embarrassed because she sees him trying to get as close as possible. Tsubasa questions her about why she's telling him all this, to which he replies that it's because he's new, so he doesn't know her, and therefore he can't judge her. A girl without friends, and he aren't that different. Just look at us, bro. Lonelier than the desert. She's the purest and kindest person I've ever met. Suddenly, a notification goes off, and Tsubasa thinks it's the girl's Zed, but it's nothing like that. It's a hacked switch because the girl is also a video game lover. She's so into it that she shows her more nerdy side, explaining to him, "What do you mean you don't play, dude?" "Well, I don't know, girl." And even in the process, she gets closer to him. The girl stops and apologizes to him for scaring him, saying that this is her true self, but she tries to dress like a gal to fit in and socialize with others, even though she always ends up scaring them away, calling herself pathetic. But Tsubasa tells her that's not true, that she's a great girl with an amazing personality, thanking her for the privilege of talking to her. Using the macho, these embarrassing words struck the girl so much that they made her really happy. Just look at that little face. So they come to an agreement. She'll teach him how to play video games on the condition that he calls her master. Hell yeah, teacher, teach me. I'll teach you something else. This is how the girl admired how hard the guy was trying to improve, looking at him with eyes that we all know what they mean. But he was being a fool and lost track of time, so it was time to head back. Once they're there, the girl tells him that there's no point in trying too hard, so it's better to take it easy. But the guy, full of chicken energy, invites her to give it a shot with him. Now we see the blonde girl having fun and watching her guy with the one she wants as a friend. What a huge NTR.
Don't you guys know that NPR is really bad for the protagonist?
The girl feels nervous about doing it while the guy is excited, so much so that he admits he's only doing this to challenge himself, since he set out to try new things in Hokkaido. He thanks that blonde girl he met because she was his first friend and the one who encouraged him to go shopping with her. Here, he admits that he likes the blonde girl, but he nervously denies it, saying, "You got me there, dude." She admits that it's normal since that girl is the most popular, and that's why it's really hard for her to talk to her. Then we see it's time to ski, and the guy invites the girl to do it together since there's only one life, but with one condition. If she manages to do it, she'll try to reciprocate the blonde girl. "And when about you, bro?" She's embarrassed and agrees, telling him not to dare leave her behind. So these two are trying to ski. The guy manages to do it well, but the girl doesn't know how to stop. I forgot to teach. The blonde girl helps, so they fall safely, like on a mattress. The guy arrives late, asks if they're okay, but all is fine. The teacher scolds him for being alone. He tells Kino he'll take responsibility. While they scold his buddy, Akino apologizes to the blonde girl for being cold. While the teacher scolds him for being alone, the guy decides to talk to him by himself, telling Kino that he'll take responsibility and to put it on him if you want, baby. So while they scold his buddy, Akino apologizes to the blonde girl for being so cold with her. So, best friends or maybe rivals, since on the bus the girl is really stressed out because she got a friend but she also got a partner. Just look at those two all cuddled up drooling, and they didn't invite us. "Oh no, I have to go to high school. With this cold, my balls are going to freeze." "Oh no, kiddo, stop messing around. Even if snowballs are falling, I'm not missing out." "You're right, grandma. Here we are, got and no ZZ. Nah, it was all just a joke. I want to go back. I can't feel my legs. This is so messed up that it's gonna take me to San Pedro. I hear everything blurry, so while I drift off to the other world, I'll remember the owner of my little treats, my dear and precious gal with her machine. A car. No, I've already been hallucinating about my blonde girl. What are you doing there, bro? This cold is going to send you to the lobby. Get in and let's go to therapy." And that's how Tsubasa met his future mother-in-law, his machine, another girl. I don't even know if I should go for the daughter or the mother. The lady tells Tsubasa that her daughter keeps talking about the guy who lives in a castle, meaning him, so she gets really excited to meet him, so much that she asks if he has a girlfriend. But I just keep watching stuff, romanticizing my loneliness.
If the depression is moderate to severe, of course...
There, Tsubasa cramps up, admitting that he's really sore from skiing so much. We also see how his friend Gal is just like her mother. You should handle her more gently. You have a lot of resilience, girl. These two seem to be talking about something dirty. The guy tells her he doesn't have a girlfriend in Tokyo, and the mother offers her daughter to him, saying they would make a nice couple. Later, they discuss why classes aren't canceled due to the cold. The girl complains about wearing little clothing to look pretty in the cold and tells her mother she needs more money for clothes. The guy unexpectedly tells them they look pretty as they are, leaving them shocked and blushing. They wonder why classes continue in the cold. Tsubasa thinks they are used to it, but girls deny, saying Hokkaido people feel cold too. Kids attend with parents. Girl mentions wearing less to look pretty, but now she avoids going out. Complains to mom about needing money for clothes. Guy says they look pretty as is. The girl tells him they wear little clothing to look pretty, but with the cold, she doesn't want to go out. She complains to her mother about needing more money for clothes. The guy unexpectedly tells them they look pretty as they are, leaving both shocked and blushing. At school, Tsubasa thanks her, and she promises to pick him up next time. Before leaving, she praises her daughter, hinting that winter feels like spring, knowing her daughter's interest in the guy. Double points! Later, these two arrive at school, so Tsubasa thanks her for the ride, while the lady tells him that next time she'll pick him up from his house. Before leaving, she tells her daughter that she did really well. Just a little, hinting that for many, this winter already feels like spring. Meaning she knows her daughter wants to get close to the guy. Then we see the pair spot Kino arriving, who is greeted with a big hug from her new friend. "I won't forgive you for this, girl, everything hurts." She explains that she has cramps from skiing, just like her great friend Tsubasa, which makes the girl really jealous since they're leaving her out. "We're not that close, or well, not super close friends." Ugh, so this is the famous NTR. I'm going to call them out, affirmatively. 1,000 people have called me out. Then Fuyuki realizes that the guy is already using his own little blanket in class, but he asks if he has one of those, saying he wishes he could have them on his face. They're warmers. "I don't have that, girl." "Here, I'll give you some to chill out." No wonder this girl always wears so little clothing without feeling cold. She tells him that she's out of lipsticks, and suddenly Tsubasa blurts out, "What did you say? How exciting! You're becoming a little hick from Hokkaido, and that's a good thing." Until she arrives here to compete, telling the guy that he shouldn't take the blonde route as an example since she stands out a lot, and I noticed for what reasons. She even adds that neither she nor her family uses them, so she gets into a little argument with the blonde until Tsubasa notices that she has the game, and she wants to play a few rounds, to which he replies, "I would love to play with you." Little girl. Don't say that, how naive you are, bro. I almost believed you and would have given you an accent. Tsubasa tells Fuyuki that at least here she isn't a teacher either, which makes the girl give a sad face, blushing from the feminine affection. Gal tells her, yes. Then they go to the mall for a stroll, and Tsubasa admits that it's really nice since it's not as noisy as the one in Tokyo. We also get to see how the blonde girl is good at everything, since she even knows the game well. Wow, the girls get along really well. That dude is my idol, damn it. Tsubasa goes to take a shower, while Fuyuki asks Kino if they're going to check out cosmetics together, calling Yurin affectionately, which makes the girl blush. She admits that she's a really nice girl and apologizes for not being more affectionate with her in high school, which makes the blonde girl blush. On their way back, the three of them go out to check out all kinds of makeup and decide to buy everything the guy picks for them since they want to look pretty for him. I mean, they want to look cute. And to top it all off, they decide to take a photo where they ended up looking ridiculous. Later, back at home, the guy is doing his homework, but he has a question, so he's going to ask his girl. But first, he looks at the little photo they took, looking like Pancho Villa with a girl on each side. Fuyuki tells him that she's taking a shower, so she tries to make the guy nervous, but he responds with very formal things to play it cool. So she sends him a more enticing photo, so much that the guy can't handle it, but he stays formal, which the girl finds boring. So she video calls him, where they chat a bit more, and she laughs at his nervous reaction when he sees her. "You must be really clueless, bro." "Wait, no way, there was homework." And his phone slips out of his hand, showing off all his stuff, but since the dude also dropped his, he missed the best part of the show.
There's no doubt he's an idiot.
The blonde girl asks him if he saw her melons, to which he replies that he saw them on him since his phone slipped out of his hand, making her nervous. She says goodbye while having a cringe attack with herself since she's not used to that kind of thing. "I messed up. What's up, girl? Let me take a shower, mom. I already messed things up with the guy." And indeed, in the end, the girl didn't finish her homework on time, and the teacher scolded her. But when it comes to teasing, you're really good at it, girl. Every day. Based, it all starts with the blonde girl throwing out a line saying, "A wolf like me isn't for guys like you." And that's how I met her mother. Everything continues with a trip to embarrass themselves at karaoke, since if the little town has one, they're going to use it. They applaud the blonde girl because she knows how to sing without cracking a note. The guy and the purple-haired girl are impressed with her talent since they don't even dare to sing Las Mañanitas in front of them. Akira asks him if he often went to karaoke in Tokyo, but we already know that this bro wouldn't even go out of his way to get some affection, so no way. But the guy returns the question, "I used to go alone like a loser, bro." "Oh right, girl, I forgot that you're a total old man repellent, thanks for reminding me." Then we see that their classmates pressure the two weirdos to choose a song, until the girl gat steps in to help them choose without making them feel pressured. "Thanks, girl. Leave it to me, guys. I'll help you out." After that, everything continues at its own pace, and they have a great time with their friends until the girl brings up something about Valentine's Day, reminding them that soon it will be the day when you'll feel lonelier and more downcast, like the ugly guy without any female affection that you are. Wow, this just got personal. Nah, the blonde is actually a fallen angel from heaven since she usually gives chocolates to everyone. Last year, she even handed out over 60 chocolates all by herself. You better sell it, girl. Tsubasa was worried about whether the blonde girl was giving chocolate to someone, but when he found out she was giving it to that weird neighbor from his block, he felt more relaxed for some strange reason. Meanwhile, he's being looked at with those, "I want you to be the father of my kid's" eyes from the purple-haired waifu, since it seems like she wants to give him chocolate, but she brushes it off and tells a girl that she'd rather spend it on games. "I'd better buy the pass for Fortnite 2000 dimes." Then a buddy asked the guy if he used to get chocolates in Tokyo. "Are you serious, bro? To a guy like me who's loveless. Isn't it obvious that my butt is on fire because no, well, just my family. Did you hear that, girls? Get your act together." Then they leave the place and the guy gets surrounded by some people who want to ask him something, but the girl in purple steps back, so they just keep walking like nothing happened. But later we see that it was about Valentine's Day, because remember, if he didn't win her over with words, he can definitely win her over through her stomach here. Arizan 2024. Akira is still in a reflective mood, thinking about whether he should give chocolate to his crush, but he decides to keep playing the event he has. Later, he goes incognito to the store because he wants to take a chance, until he's caught red-handed by the gal who came to buy her ingredients. So, he makes up a lame excuse that he was going to buy cosmetics. "What's up, girl? I was going to buy some nails, but I think they look good. Shut up, baby, and help me choose some Halloween stuff." They check out some things. As the blonde leaves, Akira asks to join her. The girl says goodbye. Akira asks if she's giving love chocolate. She insists they're just friends. It's study time for the guy resembling Harry Potter. The purple-haired waifu makes chocolates. The blonde texts her. She admits she's just starting. The chocolates turn out great. Then we see the girl saying goodbye. But before that, Akira asks the blonde if she's going to give love chocolate to Tsubasa. She's shocked because according to her, they're just friends, so she turns the question back on Akira. But Akira says they only play video games together, so technically neither should give him anything. But from their worried expressions, we can tell that both of them are crazy about the shy guy. So the competition for him has begun, thus goodbye to friendship between those two. Then it's study time for the guy who looks like Harry Potter with those glasses, so he stays up late giving it his all, while the purple-haired waifu is also up late trying to make the chocolates. Until the blonde texts her to see how it's going, and she admits that she's just getting started with all the playing around. So the gal calls her to give her a tutorial that will help. We see that the girl is really good with her hands, she knows how to make milk baths, she likes it drippy, and I don't even know what the heck I'm describing anymore. But in the end, the chocolates turn out great until everything takes an unexpected turn. When the gal asks her who the chocolate is for, she says it's for her. The nerves overcome her, and all 70 chocolates end up in the lobby. She tells Akira she must clean up. She told Akira she was happy making chocolates for classmates, but this time, it won't happen. The gal pretends that everything is fine, so she tells Akira that she has to leave to clean up, and that's that. Before the tragedy, she was telling Akira how happy it made her to make a lot of chocolates because she always gives them to her classmates, but it looks like this time, that's not going to happen. Oh, poor thing. The next day, we see the guy looking really tired because he spent the night studying. He opens his locker hoping to find chocolate, but all he finds is some veggies left for him, or at least for now. When he runs into the blonde girl, she gives him a measly chocolate as a token gesture since we all know what happened. The guy was all excited, unlike the others, since this red-haired dude complained that they weren't homemade. He should be grateful that someone even said something to him. Ungrateful dog. Noticing the guy's attitude, Akira gets really mad and goes to tell him that if he talks to his friend like that again, he's going to smash his face in. Then it's time for the daily cleaning, and the guy takes advantage of the moment to thank the blonde for her little chocolate. But then the girl can't hold it in anymore and starts crying. With Akira listening in on the gossip, she tells Tsubasa what happened, that all her chocolate ended up in the trash because she worked so hard on it and wanted to give it to her classmates, so she keeps crying inconsolably. In response to this, the guy starts solving things and plays an amazing piano piece since he's really good with his fingers. Write that down, girl. He tells the girl that it's the same song he sang at karaoke, so he hopes it makes her feel better since she always tries to cheer him up when he's down. This makes the girl very happy, so much so that now it's tears of joy until Akira walks in and joins them to give them some chocolate. The blonde knows it's for her crush, so she leaves. But before that, she gave one to her since she had promised it to her, which makes her really happy. And of course, she also gives her thanks to Akira since he was the main one. When he sees how grateful she is, he blushes a lot, and she also tells him that he really nailed it playing the piano. So it's official, guys. These two are really good with their fingers, one with chocolate and the other with the piano. You know, bro, they call me the haunted piano. Oh yeah, it's just that at night, shut up dogs and let's eat chocolate with friends. How delicious. What's up, donkeys? It's time for their exam, so they better get their act together. Dude, it's her Mouser. Call God, those little tests are killing me. Really, my little brain. Bro, that's the truth, girl. Well then, come to my house to study. If you teach me well, there will be a happy ending. What time are we leaving? Then we see that they invite the purple-haired waifu because it's way better. To study in a group of 3, right? Just like that. So this is how they arrive at Fuyumi's house, where she tells them to wait for her in her room, just the 2 of them. Here, Tsubasa tells Akira that he came over once, which makes the girl freak out and call him a pervert. The dude says that nothing happened, he just got shy and pulled a Shinji. When they enter the girl's room, it feels and looks like a typical girl's room, but the pervy guy imagines his girl in a different way, so Akira confirmed that he really wants her. The friend tells him that nothing happened, she just got pampered, and he applied Shinjis to her. When they enter the girl's room, it feels and looks like a typical girl's room, but the pervy guy imagines his girl in a different way. So Akira confirmed that he really wants her. Here, the girl arrives and makes her friends comfortable, giving them a little spot. With a typical Hokkaido sweet, it tastes really good. And I love the fizzy drink. Really, dude? Here comes one. Those, huh, dude? After that, these 3 get to work on studying. So Tsubasa starts with some questions about history, which makes the blonde girl nervous because, unlike her friends, she's not really into it. So she doesn't understand anything. Even when it's her turn to come up with a question, she asks something really random. Did you know that Erizan has a little purple channel where he'll do streams for Numa? I didn't know that, dude. I'm going to follow him. But what does that have to do with history, girl? It's just that I don't know. Don't cancel me. Tsubasa tells him that it's all good, that there's time to improve, while Akira asks him not to give in to the blonde girl. After hours of studying, the girls are completely wiped out. So much so that the blonde feels like she can't take in any more study words until the dude realizes it's super late and that his grandma is going to scold him. So he puts on his sneakers and bolts out like Flash. Wait up, bro. Tsubasa runs and bumps into Fuyumi's mom. She decides to give him a break, while Tsubasa can't forget the softness he felt. Her daughter praised his piano skills, which cheered her up. She thanks him for cheering her daughter. The lady decides to give the guy a break since he's faster, while Tsubasa can't stop thinking about the softness of those big reasons to live, until the lady brings up that her daughter told her he was really good with his fingers. Indeed, he shows her that, but on the piano. She also mentions that her daughter was feeling sad about her disastrous Valentine's Day, but she assured him that when she got home from school, she was really happy because she couldn't stop talking about how well he played the piano. So, she thanks the guy from the bottom of her heart for trying to cheer up her dear little girl. Oh man, you've already won over the mother-in-law. Upon arriving at his mansion, he praises his castle and leaves him a sweet treat as a gift, encouraging him to keep putting in the effort every day. Come on, buddy, there are some glasses. Damn, I wish I could finish raising myself. But not everything is happiness, since his grandfather was waiting to get him in trouble. The devil is loose. The next day, the dude heads to school, and his grandma asks him to take out the trash, which he quickly does. His expression shows that he got a serious scolding, so much so that his grandma reminded him that there are rules in her house and warned him that if he doesn't follow them, he knows what will happen. The dude begs for forgiveness on his knees and looks really scared, until suddenly on the way, he runs into a beautiful girl with short hair and an incomparable beauty. She even looks like a foreign model. But remember guys, pretty and single. She's a patient of the crazy Akieri-san 2024, because the girl is acting really weird since she's carrying a stick to scare away the birds. You can throw out your trash now, bro. Oh yes, thank you. Already at school, the girl gal tells her that she is Rina, the most famous girl in the school for being the winner of the beauty pageant 2 years in a row. So much so that Fuyumi dreams of one day being reincarnated into a cutie like her. Oh! And she also mentions that her father is a foreigner, which is why her Western features smell like a waifu ready to wield a trident. Then the girl invites Tsubasa to study at her house again, but he tells her that he can't because he has to study alone at home to focus better, which bums the blonde out. He won't tell her it's because his grandma scolded him to avoid worrying his waifus. Later, Akira also refuses because they are just going to gossip and get distracted, so his little plan is totally shot. Later, the girl invites Akira to lunch, but she wants to keep playing, so she sticks to her like gum to avoid being alone, and that's when the topic of Tsubasa's absence comes up, wondering where the heck Shotas is. Are you mad at him because he's not going to your house, right? Yesterday he didn't want to. Happy ending, on the other hand. We see that the guy went to the library to study, which is the perfect place for it. Studying. Of course, until he sees the pink-haired girl snoring like a log. She wakes up and sees that he was staring at her drooling, so she approaches Tsubasa to tell him she took a little nap. No worries, I don't mind. She takes advantage of the moment to point out a problem he had wrong, but he doubts her speed. Don't worry, my daughter. 300 kilo of vegetables are worth it to me. She takes advantage of the bug to point out a problem that he had wrong, giving the kid the impression that she is very intelligent, but he doubts how quickly she did it. Sometime later, back at home, his grandmother was waiting for him because she realized he's at that age where he's feeling those crushes, so she needs to tone down his excitement with an anti-craving ritual to help him control those dirty impulses that distract him. But just as she starts, someone knocks on the door, and when Tsubasa opens it, he finds Reina, who apparently will be his neighbor. He's stunned to see her because she's wearing a Japanese outfit. But just as they were about to start, someone knocked on the door, so Tsubasa opens it and finds Reina, who apparently will be his neighbor. He is stunned to see her because she's wearing a Japanese outfit. This dude is taking forever. What passion! And here we see that the guy won't control his cravings at all because the cute girl gave him a hug full of feminine charm right in front of his blushing grandmother. What a blessing! The girl changes her attitude and pretends to slip onto Tsubasa, which lightens his grandmother's anger, and she leaves like a total champ. The grandmother admits that she's a really cute girl, which is super rare for her, but she also says that her grandson is worse off than she thought. You're starting to look like a generic pervy anime protagonist, charming all the girls. So if you don't tone down your luck and cravings, and if you don't make it into the top ranks on the exam, I'm sending you back to Tokyo. Man, if I don't pass the exams, my grandma is going to keep me away from my tempting waifus. Well, it's just that I got distracted too, but what can I do? They show me some skin, and I get all flustered and can't think. It's all over. At that moment, the waifu Vina comes to the rescue of the shy guy, but seeing his downcast face, she asks him if he got scolded for giving off feminine vibes at home. No girl, that's not the issue. It's just that I have some problems with my studies. The albino girl explains that she has an obsession with traditional things, which is why when she saw him in his Japanese outfit, she got all flustered. To make up for it, she offers to help him improve in his studies, but the guy thinks she's just messing with him since, as they say, pretty face, empty head. This makes the albino girl freak out because she thinks he doesn't get it, but it turns out to be the opposite as she confidently claims that she's number one, the best, the top, the juiciest, and the most awesome. I mean, what were we talking about? So the number one in the whole school. The guy makes an oh my god face and says something like, wow, what Sota has in depression, he has in being clueless, I mean in being thick-headed, or well, at least in being smart. So here, Tsubasa goes into analytical mode, thinking that if someone as awesome and not so ordinary as her helps him, he could end up in the top 10. So he decides to beg her to help him because he wants to keep being tempted. She's really happy about his decision. Just look at that face full of joy. She explains on the way that they'll study after class in a secret spot in the library, since remember, this girl is the boss. She tells him that she's really looking forward to having him all to herself. You already know it, bro. You come all nicely perfumed and with a little balloon. Let's celebrate with balloons and dessert. Yeah, sure, just that I'll be the dessert. After this, we see the waifu girl complaining about the exams with a friend, like, come on, you're acting all studious, girl. But then she hears that Tsubasa is dancing and hanging out with another girl right in front of her, like, how could you, dude? And that's how many NPRs start. But nope, it was a bait. The blonde girl isn't mad, she's just jealous because he talked to her kingdom. That sounds good what you're saying right now, but suddenly your heart tells you you're kun to kun and the asterisk goes pakao because you get all jealous over your macho girl. Realize it? Later in class, the girl asks Tsubasa if they could study together again, but he seriously tells her no, since he needs to focus on giving his all in the exam. She quickly understands, but it leaves her a bit down. Meanwhile, the guy thinks it's for the best, because even though he doesn't like rejecting his friend's invitations, if he messes up, he'll lose her affection. So priorities. No, better to stay quiet and look good. He heads to the albino girl studying. He says the password and she lets him in. He focuses on studying. They start and Reina is doing well, but he insists on improving to be in the top 10. He asks about her math teacher and realizes the exams are similar to the tests. No, calm down, bro. You're here to study, not to mess around. So, this is how the two of them start studying, and Reina, while checking her problems, is surprised because honestly, she's not doing that bad. But still, the guy insists on improving even more since remember, he needs to be in the top 10. So he asks her who her math teacher is, to conclude that this dude puts the same stuff on the exams as he does on the tests. Which test? This is funny. And so they spent their time studying hard until it was time for them to be sent home, as the loudspeaker announced, alright, you lovebirds who are studying and have no home, it's time to go. And so the study session comes to an end, but not before the girl asks him why he's putting in so much effort. He tells her that he has to succeed so he can keep seeing certain people he cares about. The waifu throws him a loving smile and asks him that if he achieves his goal with her help, he should go on a date with her. What do you mean, a date? This guy charms everyone. On the other hand, the blonde is just being lazy instead of studying, which reminds her of her little sister. Get to studying, girl. But she's like, I just don't feel like it. And still, her super waifu of a mom rewards her with a soda since she really spoils her. Then there's the question, have you ever felt like you can't breathe? What's up with that chest pressure, girl? What are you getting into? Don't say that to me, boss. Meanwhile, Tsubasa keeps studying with his new girl, since a phone review is the perfect way to go over things. He thanks Reina, but she stays humble and remembers that her motivation is her great reward, the powerful 3-scimitar. That really makes the guy nervous. And finally, the day of the exams arrives, so the blonde is happier than a worm since she doesn't have to study anymore. As if you had done it, girl. While Akira is all scared because she didn't study since she was busy playing Fortnite's 5009, Tsubasa is super focused because it's time to power up. Meanwhile, we see Reina praying, but not for herself, rather for her guy to keep his promise. I want to leave him drier than the desert. And so the Hunger Games begin. Later, we see the waifu girl hanging out in the hallway and spots her guy heading to the library, so she tries to catch up with him, but the poor guy got totally baited because he wasn't even there. The next day, the girl tells him that she saw him enter the library, but she thinks she mistook him for someone else. He goes along with it because, according to him, lying is the best way to make her think he has no problems. After results arrive, the waifu girl feels down, laziness caught up, while the gamer girl scored above average, she's fine. Then, Tsubasa arrives with Queen. He's third. Yay! All was easy. Easier than a gala pickup? No, just for you. Meanwhile, Tsubasa shows up with his Queen, since it seems that he came third without a hitch. My girl, everything was super easy. Easier than getting a gala in Hokkaido. No, that's only easy for you, dude. The girl is happy because the guy will keep his promise. He gets ready in a Japanese outfit and tells his grandma he's going to be with a friend, so don't bother him. Tsubasa meets a beautiful waifu in Japanese style, and they start their date with a blushing guy and an excited albino girl. The girl's mother appears, trying to take her daughter away. Then Tsubasa out there meets a beautiful, gorgeous, precious Japanese-style waifu, just like the doctor ordered. And so these two start their date with a super ultra blushing guy, looking like a tomato, and a super excited albino girl thrilled to be with a little Japanese guy in a super Japanese suit, until we see the girl's saintly mother around trying to steal her daughter away from the guy. Meanwhile, the couple keeps walking, but since the guy has never had any luck with girls, he doesn't even know where the heck to go. But it's all good, because the albino is a total waifu and reassures him that as long as she's with him, it doesn't matter where they go, whether it's just for a stroll, a walk, or to buy a rotisserie chicken. As long as she has him, she'll be fine. Damn, where can I get a waifu like that, seriously? Meanwhile, we see that the blonde girl was warned by her mother about the serious situation, like, hey girl, a sweet girl is trying to take your guy. This leaves her so surprised that she stops being lazy, like, they took my simp away. Everything continues with the girl calling her gamer friend just to let her know that her guy is on a date with someone else. They're going to steal our guy? Girl. And what about me? Aren't you interested in Tsubasako's 3 powerful centimeters of kindness? Alright, let's follow them then. Before we follow them, the blonde girl told Akira her mother warned her about the situation. Seeing the super waifu queen, she forgot her anger. The girls follow the couple on their date, who are lovey-dovey, and then we see the girls following the couple on their date. While they are all lovey-dovey, they stop at the claw machine. Tsubasa is trying to win a toy for his girl, but he keeps failing so much that the nosy gamer is really annoyed because she could do it in one try. Let me show you how it's done, girl! Tsubasa tries to win a stuffed animal for his girl, but fails, annoying a gamer who could do it easily. She says, let me show you. He finally wins a monkey, making his girl happy. She promises to care for it. Finally, the guy manages to grab a small monkey, which makes the albino waifu super happy since he gifted it to her. She happily promises to take care of it for life. Blushing at the guy and leaving the blonde girl in a reflective mood, she starts throwing out facts about Tsubasa, saying he's a really nice guy who even has Rena, the prettiest girl in school, at his feet. She thinks he could be the best guy out there, always making excuses with that silly line about how she admires him and wants to be like him. Nah, girl, you just want him to take you out, right? Is that what you want? Realizing she was talking too much, she tries to excuse herself, but Akira doesn't even pay attention to her since she's busy playing. And boy, she knows how to win those prizes. Is that what you want? Realizing she was talking too much, she tries to excuse herself, but Akira doesn't even pay attention to her since she's busy playing, and boy, she knows how to win those prizes. Then the couple decides to go to the movies to watch a film, so we have to follow them again, but they get delayed because of Akira, who needs to put away her stuffed animals. Hurry up, girl! Shut up, ma'am, and I'll give half to your machine. They're super god. The couple watches a movie that makes the albino girl cry, surprising Tsubasa. Over coffee, she relates to the character's unnoticed efforts. Tsubasa, surprised by her struggles, reassures her that her perseverance inspires others, making her blush. Tsubasa shares his own struggles. After leaving the theater, they go for a coffee to chat and continue talking about the movie. Tsubasa asks the girl if she cries easily, and she manages to relate to the main character since she has never had her achievements recognized either. This surprises the guy a lot because he thought perfect beings like her only had problems like which iPhone to buy. But then the girl shares her backstory. Apparently, since she was very young, she always worked hard to achieve many things to get noticed by people. But it became more of an obligation that made her feel like no one really saw her. To this, the guy tells her that they do notice her because she is a really amazing person who serves as an example of perseverance, inspiring and motivating others to be like her. This makes the girl blush and leaves her surprised because Tsubasa insists that it's not a bad thing, as even the protagonist of the movie says she can only be herself in a positive way, which fits her perfectly. Plus, Tsubasa feels similar because he ran away and argued with his parents and ended up coming to Hokkaido. Are you really that aggressive, bro? Just a little bit, girl. This fact makes the girl think they share things in common, like problems, tastes, and a cool outfit. She gathers courage and asks if he has a girlfriend. That's my girl. Keep visualizing. He says no. She questions if he feels like a loner. Tsubasa admits a little, but thanks to special people, he feels cared for and wanted. Well, that's a different story. The guy tells her no, as if that would have a feminine effect, girl. To which she questions him if he doesn't feel like a loner who romanticizes his solitude. Tsubasa replies that a little, but he mentions that thanks to some special people in his life, since he arrived, he has felt cared for, embraced, and really wanted. Well, that's a different story. So the girls hear this interesting fact and look at each other thinking, are we those girls? So Tsubasa has the brilliant idea of gathering all his girls, and the waifu girl quickly jumps in to say, of course yes. Wait a minute, girl, they're going to find us out. Was it a secret, daughters of their mouser? They were watching us. Here, Tsubasa introduces his friends to the albino waifu. She realizes the girls are after Tsubasa. Then the blonde girl charms her. Being a big fan, the albino gestures softly, amazing her. The mother hen arrives having made extra cash selling clothes and invites them to eat as the crew is hungry. At the restaurant, they try the meat and are delighted with the Hokkaido beef. The girls and Tsubasa, trying it for the first time, are impressed. The albino girl spookily explains the meat is from the cow's diaphragm. Scare me, baby. I like that. At the restaurant, they try the meat and are delighted with the Hokkaido beef. The girls are amazed, especially Tsubasa, who is impressed by the local meat. The albino girl mentions a piece of meat comes from the cow's diaphragm. The lady tells the guy he's lucky to be with beautiful girls, and her daughter complains, you don't count, girl. They discuss Reina's beauty, saying she's on another level. The albino girl thinks it's easy for her, but her fan denies it, saying the blonde works hard, even on her nails. Akira apologizes, and Tsubasa shows Reina that people notice her efforts. But then the lady gets down to business and tells the kid that he's lucky because he's surrounded by beautiful girls, to which her daughter complains that he's excluding her. You don't count, my daughter. She does this to motivate her daughter, and they end up talking about Reina's incredible beauty, saying she's on another level. The albino girl thinks it must be easy for her, but her big fan denies it, saying the blonde works really hard. Even her nails require a lot of dedication. Akira then apologizes to her, and Tsubasa shows Reina that there are indeed people who notice her efforts. And when they finish, they leave the place, and the gal girl says goodbye to Tsubasa, whispering in his ear that next time he should take her out on a date. Nah, just kidding, but if you want to, it's not a joke. So in the end, she tells him to go out together for a walk, which means she was serious after all. Then Tsubasa watches as all his new harem, his girls, his crew, or his potential lovers walk away together. I'm not joking. So in the end, she tells him to go out together for a walk, which means she was serious after all. Then Tsubasa watches as all his new harem, his girls, his crew, or his potential lovers walk away together. And now we continue with the famous White Day, where we see the girls are really anxious to see Tsubasa give them their gifts. Oof, I hope he gives it to me first. And there the guy arrives, clueless about the context, without any pretext of what they're talking about, while we see the nosy redhead listening in. This dude is running desperately with his plan because tomorrow is White Day, and he wants to apologize to the girl from Gal since he was really rude, saying that the chocolate she gave him was super lame. Plus, his friend almost cut him off. Anyway, in short, he wants to know what he can do. Tsubasa advises him to just apologize and give her a little cake because knowing her, that will be enough to make her happy. As for the gamer, she'll calm down if he does it first. But what a stud you are, bro. If I were a girl, I would totally give you some, mom. It seems that Tsubasa has the idea of baking some cookies to thank the girls for the chocolate they gave him, which his grandmother finds a bit strange. Look, pay attention. If a girl from Gal gives you chocolate, give her cookies so she turns as red as a tomato. Oh, that's true. What a base grandson I have. Then we see the redhead giving his little cake to the blonde, and she accepts his apology right away. Let's keep being friends, bro. Thank you, girl. And now Tsubasa shows up with Akino, since they were spying on them. The redhead gives her a little cake too to help her calm down, and Tsubasa takes advantage of the moment to give her some cookies, since they're her favorites. The girls are really excited about the gift, but the redhead is even more thrilled and doesn't know how to thank him for being so awesome. How can I thank you, bro? I'll give you my cousin, I'll hook you up. But I don't have a gun. Of course not. And this gun. Later, back at home, Tsubasa tells his grandmother that he had a great time, and even the blonde asked him for the cookie recipe, which makes her happy. She writes down the secret on a little piece of paper, and Tsubasa sends it to the girl via photo. Then he gets a message from the redhead inviting him to go fishing on a Sunday, but they're going to fish for real. Oof, I almost let one rip. So we see the two buddies going fishing in the freezing cold, and they're so happy that they can't wait to get started. They run into the girl from Gal, who apparently likes that stuff too, so now it's time for the trident. To fish, of course. The experienced redhead explains that you have to poke a hole in the ground, then put a little worm in, and now you can stick it all the way down, because that's how you catch the prize. We're talking about the fish, right? Oh yeah, me too. The redhead meets his dad. Tsubasa asks if she's bored. She says no, and shows a makeup video. Her dream is to study beauty abroad. He compliments her makeup. She smiles, considering her dream. She asks if he uses cosmetics, then offers to moisturize his lips. Nah, it was just makeup because she follows an influencer she likes. She tells Tsubasa her dream is to focus on beauty and study abroad, which excites him. He compliments her makeup and beauty. Surprised, she smiles and says she wants to make everyone beautiful, considering her dream. She jokingly asks if he uses cosmetics and offers to moisturize his lips, which Tsubasa finds like an indirect kiss. But then, the redhead interrupts, saying his dad caught a lot of fish, saving Tsubasa. The girl is taken aback and quickly smiles, telling him that she wants to make everyone beautiful, so she's thinking about pursuing her dream. Then she asks him if he uses any cosmetics, but in a joking way, and offers to moisturize his lips, which Tsubasa can't handle because it would be like an indirect kiss. But just when things were getting good, the redhead interrupts them to let them know that his dad caught a lot of fish, making him the savior for Tsubasa. Thanks bro, I'll stay good for you. But when they were already doing something really good, the redhead comes to interrupt them to tell them that his boss caught quite a bit, thus becoming Tsubasa's savior. Thanks bro, I'll stay good for you. And now it's time to eat because everyone is very hungry and Tsubasa is delighted with the taste. So he eats and keeps eating until suddenly his rod dies, so he has to keep pulling in the little fish. But hey, all that fun made the guy sick because he was so excited that he took off his jacket, so now he's getting messages from everywhere wishing him a full recovery. And now his grandmother brings him some hot food and a drink that the neighbor sent over when she found out he was feeling under the weather, so she went to his house to bring it to him. Grandmother leaves, but Gal stays to care for him. She takes his temperature. Wait, I'm at 40 degrees, no need to be so close. She feels guilty for urging him to fish. Warm again, he tells her he just wants her to stay. Wait, my girl, it's already 40 degrees, so I can't really use an umbrella. She feels guilty about his condition since she insisted a lot on him continuing to fish, so she assures him that he can ask her for anything, which makes Tsubasa really nervous, so much that he faints. Once he's feeling warm again, he tells her that he just wants her to stay by his side, so the girl takes his hand and starts giving him a lot of feminine attention. The next day, the guy feels new and thanks his waifu, admitting he remembers nothing. She reassures him she just stayed with him, while the girl hopes his words become canon. Later, he feels refreshed and meets Gal, worried about class placements. Sometime later, the guy is feeling refreshed because he took a page out of Vladimir's book and runs into the girl Gal, who seems a bit worried since they've moved up to the second year and they don't know if they'll be in the same class. There's a rumor going around that the slackers and the brainiacs won't be together, so she's worried because she's quite the slacker. But Tsubasa tells her he doesn't think that's true since no one told him that, so he keeps the faith that they'll still see each other often. The girl even assures him that even if they don't end up in the same class, she'll visit him 24/7, which makes her really happy because she thinks if they get separated, their friendship will end. But when they get to school and check the board, they realize they are in the same class after all, and not just them, but Akino too, which excites the girl Gat because she hit the jackpot. Oh, and he also notices that his friend cut her hair, and Tsubasa tells her it looks super cute, which makes her blush since her guy complimented her. Then the redhead shows up, who apparently also played with them, so he takes his buddy in danger, pushing him along since they have to head to the classroom. On the way, the last one asks Kino if she likes games because he saw that Tsubasa and she were in Scare the Elders mode, to which she replies, "Do I play Scare the Elders 3000? Hey, I don't know." And from here, they kept chatting about games, while Tsubasa talks to the really nice girl Gat, so she doesn't get left out. Later in the classroom, their new and super hot teacher introduces herself to Kanijo, saying she looks like a game developer. She mentions that it's time to choose the class representative, and suddenly the redhead proposes Tsubasa as a candidate. The teacher asks him to justify his answer, to which he replies that his buddy is really cool because he's smart, handsome, he's 17, and yeah, I get it. What do you think, bro? You win, if there's no problem. It's done, dude, and now we need a deputy. I was a firefighter. Don't be ridiculous, girl. You're being really silly. Mind your own business. And that's how she couldn't keep the position because she was too slow, since the blonde beat her in the race. Daughter of Yusan. Later at home, we see that the gamer girl is in her gaming hour. But now, with her guy Tsubasa, since she explains that when she invited him to play, she bought a console. So now they can play chill. And here we see that she doesn't blush like a tomato over the hit she took in the game. Why is that? I have no idea. They play a game. Tsubasa praises his girl. He mentions surprise at her delegate role, but reassures her. She feels unchanged, but Tsubasa insists she's changed. She's surprised and about to confess when he interrupts. But after that comes the serious part, since here, he doesn't tell her that he was surprised that she accepted the position of delegate, but more so, that Fuyuki is the sub-delegate. Don't be jealous, my daughter. I have enough for everything. The girl looks sad as she explains she hasn't changed. Tsubasa reassures her that's not true, saying she's been changing since they met. She no longer isolates herself, plays, and stands up for friends. This surprises her, and she's about to confess something, but he interrupts. The new kids work, and Tsubasa comments he's surprised she accepted the position. The girl explains she did it to spend more time with him, but he thought it was bait. The teacher interrupts to collect papers. Sometime later, at the end of class, we see the new kids working, and Tsubasa comments to the girl that he was surprised she accepted the position because everyone thinks I'm just messing around, or that if I say no, it's because of that girl. It's just that I don't think those kinds of things interest you. The girl explains that she did it because she wanted to spend more time with him, but the guy thought it was bait, but it wasn't, since she even brought her storyline closer to him. But in the end, the teacher came to interrupt because she needed to collect her papers. On the way back home, the girl is in serious mode, which Tsubasa suspects, so suddenly she tells him to save a day for them to go out together because she has to tell him something very important for her mom. Call God? The guy didn't sleep at all, thinking about his girl. She shows up with her mom. They meet for a long trip, taking 3 hours. On the train, the guy watches the scenery, and the girl falls asleep. So that's how those two meet, as it seems they're going on a long trip, because the girl tells the guy they'll take 3 hours. They get on the train, and on the way, the guy is checking out the scenery while the girl falls asleep, Peach lost. I mean, this brings back sweet memories for Tsubasa, since when he met her, she also stayed shy in his living room, so his girl hasn't changed at all. But then she opens her eyes, and in the light, she looks beautiful, which he can't help but say to the guy, so he feels shy, and the blonde almost has another reaction. After that, they stop to eat, where they have a really awkward food exchange because, you know, indirect kisses and all that stuff. So when they leave, they grab a bike to continue their journey since there's still a ways to go. And just as they're about to arrive, the girl covers Tsubasa's eyes because she doesn't want him to see anything. When they finally get there, she lets him see because she brought him to see the cherry blossoms in Hokkaido. Check out the scenery, homie. The guy is really surprised, so much so that he starts to cry because he remembered he had told the girl he wanted to see the cherry blossoms. So, feeling all excited, he thanks his girl, who smiles with joy. But now the guy is so nervous, he wants to chew his nails because he still has no idea what the heck he's gonna say. After that, they arrive at the shrine where the girl hints with her words that she wants them to come back again in the future, in a few years, implying that she wants to be with him. But the guy isn't so sure because he's a guy and guys don't pick up on hints. Still, Tsubasa wonders if he'll still be with his girl when he's an adult, while he watches her, really wanting to hug her. Then these two had a blast, as they ate ice cream, watched the opening band perform a great song, and then drove some cool little cars. So finally, the moment of truth arrives, and the girl throws what seems like another hint, wondering what people think about the two of them. Tsubasa hesitates without saying it because he's scared of messing things up, so he nervously tells her that they probably think they're best friends. 1,000. From that point on, the girl's attitude changes, so I think she gets it, which the guy notices, so he gathers his courage and gets ready to pull out his chicken product and tell her, "Wait up, bro, I need to tell you something. I'm going to study abroad." That's right, the gal girl is leaving us, all because of the guy, since she explains that ever since she met him, she stopped being so lazy, so she's determined to start studying aesthetics. She's happy that her last time in Hokkaido was in that place with him, until suddenly, the guy hugs her really tight, and when he pulls away, her eyes are filled with tears. And if it weren't for the noise, you could hear her heart breaking. Nah, that's what happens when you're slow, bro, because remember, if you take too long to confess, your gal girl is going to go somewhere else. To Kieri-san 2024, but this doesn't end here. They ended up in a hotel and are having dinner. They lost the last boss, so Tsubasa called his dad, who told him to stay with his girl. The gal girl informed her mom, who thinks her daughter stayed for dinner, but will come back hungry. After that, Tsubasa gets nervous, imagining a happy ending, but he's dreaming. When he came out of the bathroom, the girl gives him a kiss on the cheek and leaves. She left a note saying goodbye, and not to take it too hard. Just kidding, she just had to leave. Now the guy thinks she hates him, and doesn't know if he should say goodbye since she's leaving for abroad. Next, it's time for a little bath. So Tsubasa gets really nervous, imagining that when the girl comes out, she'll want a happy ending. But nah, that's just his dreams, because when he came out of the bathroom, the guy was all shy. So the disappointed girl gives him a kiss on the cheek and leaves the room. Sometime later, we see that she left him a note saying goodbye and telling him not to take it too hard, just the two of them, and nothing happened. Just kidding, she just had to leave. So now, the traumatized guy thinks she hates him and doesn't know if he should go say goodbye since she's about to leave for abroad. Some time ago, Akino and her friends met the gal girl, who mentioned she went out with her guy without informing them. This prompted her to message him, asking if he'd say goodbye. Driven by pride, she asked her dad to take her to see the gal girl, but he refused due to a meeting. Come on, Dad, it's important. This changed his mind, and he rescheduled to help her because those waifus are worth it. Before the gal girl left, Tsubasa gave her a brooch and expressed gratitude for making him feel at home in Hokkaido, promising to wait for her. She assured him she'd return more mature and awesome. In the end, she returned to her class, leaving us curious about the future, as he still has 3 girls to deal with. So before the gal girl leaves, Tsubasa arrives to take her by the arm to give her a brooch he left behind. But not only that, he gives her a speech about how, thanks to her, he feels really comfortable in Hokkaido, and that ever since he met her, everything seems rosy. He tells her that it doesn't matter if she's gone for several years, he will be waiting for her. But I'm only going to be gone for 2 weeks, bro. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, you really are. But anyway, let's continue with the summary. Here, the gal girl tells him that she's still nervous, but she promises that she'll come back more mature and more awesome than ever. In the end, we see that she did return to her classroom, so everything ends well for now, as we still have to find out what the heck will happen next, because remember, he has 3 girls to deal with. I hope you liked this video, and if so, give it a like and share it with all your friends. If you'd like to see some of my upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe. I suggest you follow me on my social media so you can stay updated on my next videos. I'll leave the link in the description. With nothing more to say, see you next time. Bye!